Hello, welcome to the new Wednesday 9 o'clock classes. Same exercises more or less, just a new time. And if you, I'm going to bang on about this, I'm sorry, but if you feel that the classes are worthwhile, then consider buying me a coffee afterwards. If you're watching, or if you haven't got the link to buy me a coffee, it's on all the pages that I advertise on. So it's on my Over 50 Fitness Facebook page, fitness with 2 S's rather than 1 S for the coffee thing. It's on the it's underneath the announcements on U3A, Keeping in Touch, Shetland Streakers, Charlton Runners, Over 50 Fitness, U3A, Keep Fit, and on Twitter. It's underneath in the comment section of this video, so it's all over the place. But if you can't find it, let me know. As I say, there's no obligation to buy me a coffee. I'd be very grateful if you would. But anyway, we'll see how it goes. If lots of people buy me a coffee, and if they want to, if it seems worthwhile to do a second class, because one class isn't really enough, if it seems worthwhile to do a second class for me financially, sorry to bring money up, then I will start a second class. But I'm just sort of testing the water with this one to see how many people feel the class is worth £3, which 2 classes would be £6. Right, anyway. Now that's out of the way, now that dirty, grubby money business is out of the way, today is T for tendons. I bet you never even think about your tendons very much. Hello, not worked out the coffee link yet, Doreen. Right, Doreen, I've got your email address, so I'll send you a link. I'm that desperate. Right, yes, so tendons. People tend not to think about tendons. Tendons link or join muscle to bone. Obviously, you've got all these muscles in your body and you can't have them flapping around inside. There has to be some way of joining them to the bone so that when you do that, it's not just the muscle that moves, everything moves. Ligaments are made up of much the same thing, same material as tendons, which is collagen and elastin and all different sorts of things. But ligaments attach bone to bone. So tendons attach muscle to bone. And did you know, and I didn't know this until I started researching this morning, we have about 4,000 tendons in our body. Isn't that amazing? Because if you think you've got all these tiny little muscles in your face and they all need to be attached, and your thigh, called the quadricep, those Latin scholars amongst you will know that quadricep means forehead. So it has to attach it has to have 4 tendons to attach the 4 heads of the quadricep. The biggest tendon in the body is one that you can easily see. The dog's just come in with a tea towel. Are you going to do some washing up, darling? The biggest is your Achilles tendon. And I mean, you can easily feel that. Excuse me, I'm just putting this back where he can't get hold of it. Yes, it's your Achilles tendon. Now, if you damage a tendon, tendons don't heal as well as muscles because they don't have the blood supply that muscles have. Hello. They don't have the blood supply that muscles have. So, and as we get older, you still have the same amount of collagen. You may actually have more collagen, so they're quite tough, but you don't have, leave my bag alone, the elastin that you have in it tends to decrease. And so the tendons get very stiff. And if they're stiff and you move suddenly, you can risk sort of rupturing, tearing them a bit. Sounds terrible, that, doesn't it? But as with everything else, you can improve it with exercise. So the strengthening exercises we do for our muscles also help strengthen the tendons. And the high intensity, the stuff that we do at the end, to get the blood flowing, that actually increases the blood flow to the tendons as well. So it's exercising your muscles, but it's also helping your tendons as well. So there we go. That's all you need to know about tendons, all you ever wanted to know, but were afraid to ask. The body's an amazing thing, isn't it? It's just so lovely. Right. It's 9 o'clock. It's a good job I remembered today, because yesterday I was thinking, no, it's 11 o'clock. Leave my phone, settle, good boy. Right, so I don't know if I have any new people here, but I'm going to assume that I might do. So what you need for this is you need a chair. Ow, just dropped it on my toe. And you need an exercise band. If you don't have an exercise band, you need one of these ones, not the ones that are sort of looped like that, with or without handles. If you don't have an exercise band, just do the movements that we're going to do. You still get benefit, you just won't get as much benefit. But if you can get an exercise band, and if you want to know about weights and exercise bands and things, if you scroll back on my YouTube channel page, the front page, you'll find a bit where I talk about weights and exercises and how, what sort of bands to get and things. Most of the exercises, it would be better if you can do them standing up if you can. Some of them we do in the chair. If you can't stand up, feel free to use the chair, because most of the exercises can be done in the chair. I'm just going to lower this slightly. That's a bit better. The class is in 3 bits. There's the warm up, the main body of the exercise, and then stretching at the end. So when we finish the exercises, don't think that you can run and put the kettle on. We have stretching to do, and stretching is good. Once your tendons are warm, stretching is good for your tendons, helps keep them elasticated. So don't neglect. It's good for your muscles, but it's good for your tendons as well. Okay, right, so we're going to start. If there's anything I've forgotten to tell you, I'll pop it in later. So we're going to start just by walking, marching, whatever you want to call it, on the spot. Use your arms so that your shoulders are getting mobilized. And remember, your feet hardly come off the floor. On your toes if you can. Walking on your toes is great, and it's something I would recommend, not just for doing this class, but I would recommend doing it when you're going to put the kettle on. You could walk on your toes to put the kettle on, and then while you're waiting for the kettle to boil, you do some squats. Sorted. So we'll walk not long, we'll do a bit of marching just for a few more seconds. So we'll do 3, 2, 1. Now put your hands on your shoulders and then stretch. I'm going to just put this up a little bit because the top of my head's being cut off. Excuse me, sorry. Maybe one day I'll be able to afford a proper camera. Yes, you don't need to see my feet now. So hands on shoulders, stretch up like that. If you can only get your arms to there, I know that some people have shoulder mobility problems, either through injury or just lack of use. If you can only get to there, that's absolutely fine. The main thing to do is not force it. So I am lucky enough to be able to get mine up there, and then back down, out to the side, back in, forward and back. This time we're going to do a little bit of marching. Up, down, out to the side. Never miss an opportunity to keep moving forward and back. One more time. Up, down, out to the side, back in, forward and back. Right, fantastic. Right, still with the shoulders. Put your hand on your shoulder to make like a wing. So your arm is straight out in front of you. Now just check that it is by looking at your arm. Remember, I was talking in the proprioception week that sometimes you think you're doing one thing with your limb or your body, and you look and it's doing something totally different. So it seems to have a mind of its own. So just check that your arm is straight out like that. Remember the pencil on the point of your elbow, and we're going to do 5 big circles back. 1, 2, imagine you're drawing a circle, 3 on the wall, 4 with your pencil, 5, and then forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we'll do the other one. We'll go back first. Doesn't matter if you go forward first. 1, nice full range of movement. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now, finally, for the arms, for the shoulders, my favorite one. This is the one where we alternate arms like that. Okay, so your up arm goes by your ear, your back arm goes there, and you don't rock. It's just your arms that move. In fact, for this, we're going to engage core. So breathe out. Remember, core are these great big muscles around here. So breathe out and deep inside that support your spine, and they support movement as well. So breathe out. Pull your navel into your backbone as hard as you can, still breathing, and then relax it slightly, and that's your core engaged. And then we're going to go 1, 2, just your arms move, 3, 4, 5. I love this because it does your back as well. 6, 7, 8, nice and gently, 9, 10. When we're doing whole arm movements like this, you need to be fairly gentle because it's quite easy if you're flailing your arms around, quite easy just to pull one of the small muscles in your shoulder, or in the worst case scenario, to dislocate it. But hopefully we won't ever do that. Right, so now we're going to start our little routine. So we're going to start doing heel digs. So you just digging your heel into the floor in front of you, toe pulled back, dorsiflexion. And at the same time as you're doing that, you're going to anchor your elbows and you're going to do a bicep curl with the opposite arm. Okay, so it's only your forearm that moves on the upper half, obviously. Your leg is moving on the bottom half. 3, 2, 1. Then we're going to do just a step to the side. It's like the time warp, if any of you know that. It's just a step to the side. And at the same time, we're going to do prayer hands and out to the side. As your leg goes out, both arms go out. And it's stretching. It's pushing your arms out, pushing the air away from you. 3, 2, 1. Fab. Next one, we're going to do a step back. So it's just a little step back. Okay. And at the same time, hands are at chest height. And as your leg goes back, both arms come out. Straight out in front of you. Spread your hands, do a bit of jazz hands. Don't take too big a step back. I find there's a tendency when you're doing this to step back. It's a sort of counterbalance, isn't it? But this is I like this one because you're sort of almost doing a squat, a one-legged squat almost. 3, it's warm today. 2, 1. It's rainy here in Manchester. Don't make any jokes about rain in Manchester, but it's quite close. Finally, we're going to do a toe tap. So just going to tap your toe, tap, tap. And at the same time as you're tapping your toe, you're just going to swing your arm. Leave the cushion alone, please, dog. Leave. Swing your arm. 3, 2, 1. Excuse me. Leave. Stop it. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, just getting something to distract the dog. Right, we're going to do that all the way through. So we're going to do it nice and slowly. So we're going to do heel digs, side, back, toe tap, heel dig, side, back, toe tap, heel, side, back, toe tap. One more time. Heel, side, back, toe tap. Those of you that have been with me from the beginning of lockdown must be pretty good at this by now, because we've been doing it every day. Well, 3 times a week, and then 2 times a week, now once a week. Right, we're going to do a little bit of footwork, a la shadows. So I'm going to put the camera down a bit so that you can see my feet. Is that okay? Yeah, you don't need to see my head for this. Is that okay? It might be better if I wore shoes, actually, because then there would be a contrast. But I haven't got any shoes to hand. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the right foot over the left, and then bring the left back over the right, and then step back. So if you imagine there's a square in front of you as well, you're going into the corners of the square with your feet, and then back to the other corners of the square. So we're going to go right, left, back, back, right, left, back, back. If you can do it on your toes, do it. Left, back, back, right, left, back, back, right, left, back, back. Now we're going to do left, right, back, back. Left, right, back, back. Left, right, back, back. Left, right, back, back. Left, whoops, right, back, back. Left, right, back, back. Left, right, back, back. What am I doing? Right, did you manage that? I've just been thinking I will wear shoes from now on, because I think it does give you the contrast, because my feet sort of blend into my legs, don't they, when we're doing it this way. Right, are we warmed up? We've been going 12 minutes, so I think we're fairly well warmed up. So we're going to start the main body of the exercise now. Excuse me while I just remove my crib sheet about tendons. 4,000, it's a lot of tendons, isn't it? Right, so we're going to start with a squat, as usual. For those of you who know how to squat, start squatting if you want, or remember, you can have your hands like this, because it's really good. Well, you could squat with your hands like this. Very good exercise. So squatting is sitting down, but without a chair. It's not moving forward like that. So your feet are at least hip width apart, and you are sitting down. I don't know how you got hold of those. Excuse me a minute. Leave. Got a pair of my socks off the kitchen unit. He pinches anything he can at the moment. Right, so where was I? Yes, so your knees don't come in. Your knees stay like that. So it's sitting. You don't have to go down that far. You go down there, if that's okay. As long as you could feel it on your thighs. You might not feel it so much on your bum. And remember, there's an eye in the middle of your chest. So you look forward. The eye is staring forward. You're not bowing to the floor. You're not, much as I'd like you to bow to me, you don't have to. If you can't manage a free squat, chair, knees at 90 degrees, ankles under knees, hands here so as you're not tempted to use them. If you can, stand up, and then note how this is what I say about sitting. When you sit, your bottom sticks out like that, and you sit down. Anytime you sit down, if you try and sit down like that, you're not going to get anywhere near the chair. If you can't do that, use your hands for momentum, and if all else fails, you can use your hands to stand up and to sit back down. When in everyday life, real life, just make sure that when you stand up, you're not using your hands, if you can possibly avoid it. Right, so we're going to do 10 squats. Okay? And you know what you're doing. So you can put your hands, I put my hands out to the front usually to counterbalance me. So 1, I'll show you, I'll do this way so you can see. 2, remember, knees not together. 3, 4, see how it's just the legs that are moving. 5, 6, nice and slow and controlled. 7, 8, 9, 10. I overbalanced a bit there because I was on my heels. Right. Next exercise is our seated row. So we're sitting on the edge of the chair, legs out in front, toes pulled back, dorsiflexion. Loop the band over your feet so that they're in the instep so that it doesn't ping off. If you have them sort of round the balls of your feet or your toes, it might ping off because we're going to have quite a bit of tension on it. And then I'm going to show you. I know most of you know all this. It's just in case we've got anybody new. So you're sitting like this, nice and straight. Your back doesn't move. You don't rock. Your heels stay on the ground. Your arms just come back like this. And imagine you're sort of squidging a can between your shoulder blades. You're not up like this or out to the side or lifting. It's just pulling back. Okay, so have a bit of tension, good bit of tension on the bands. So we're going to do 10. So 1, 2, 3. This is one where you could maybe have a stronger band. 4, because you're pulling with both arms. 5, 6, 7, 8. Have you buried it then? 9. He's got a bone that he's insisting on burying. 10. Okay, and we're staying in the chair, staying on the edge, and you're going to put the band under your knees, flick it over the top, and then hold the band just at the side of your knees like that. And your hand doesn't slip up and down the band, it just stays where it is. And then you're going to open your knees a bit so that your thighs are parallel. And you're having to hold it there. If you weren't consciously holding it, your knees would go together. So you are actually having to consciously hold your thighs parallel. And this is your starting point. And then we're going to open as far as you can and hold it for a couple of seconds. And then very slowly go back to parallel. And this is I'm going to do 10, 2. This is the second one. And this is for the muscles at the side. It's for your gluteus minimus, gluteus medius, and the muscles at the side of your thigh, the TFL as it's called. I think this is 4. And these are the muscles that stop your knees going in when you're doing a squat. 5. Nice and slow and controlled. 6. Obviously, you can adjust the tension so that you can make it more difficult. 7. Or less difficult. 8. 9. 10. Well done. Still with the band. I'm going to do a bicep curl. So you anchor your elbow into your, I have it just sort of above my hip bone. You're going to stand on your band and have a bit of tension on it. Don't hold it right at the end so as it's loose. Have a bit of tension. I'll show you what I mean. Yeah, so have a bit of tension there. So that if you not let it go, but if you relax your arm, it gets pulled down. But hold your arm there so that you're consciously having to hold it. If you relaxed, it would go there. And then we're just going to close. You just close your elbow, really. Imagine there's a walnut there. So we're going to do 10. So 1, bring it down to there. Don't release the tension totally. 2, 3, this is this bicep here. 4, 2 heads bicep. 5, so it has at least 2 tendons at the top. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Fab. And then switch over the other arm. Same thing, anchor your elbow. Have a bit of tension on the band. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Jolly well done. If you didn't have the band, you could still do the movement. It's just that you're not pulling against anything. For muscles to get stronger, they need to pull against resistance. Right, we're on to the balance. So, don't do anything yet. For this one, have the chair near and hold on to it if you need to. The main thing is not to fall over. The second main thing is to try and improve your balance. So what we're going to do is we're going to stand on one leg and bring your leg up as high as you, well, not as high as you can, until it's parallel. If you can't get it that high, that's fine. Bring it there. And then we're going to have it parallel, and then we're going to lift it just a little bit more. And then we're going to release it. If when it's there, if you're feeling very confident, you can straighten it instead of lifting it up. Okay? I'm going to try 5 doing that and lifting it, and then 5 straightening. So what we're going to do is we're going to engage our core. So breathe out. Pull your navel into your backbone as hard as you can, and then relax it slightly. Pull up your pelvic floor as well. Hands on hips, and then up. And then up again slightly, and down. When you go down, don't put your weight on that leg. Just sort of have your tippy toes on the floor. Up, up. 2. Oops, I'm falling over here. Up. 3. Up. Up. 4. Up. Up again. 5. It's chewing something. I'm not sure what it is. Up. Now I'm going to straighten instead of going up again. This strengthens here as well. Up. Straighten. That's 7. 8. 9. 10. And then we're going to switch over. We'll re-engage core because sure as eggs, it will have relaxed. So exhale, navel into your backbone as hard as you can. Relax slightly, hands on hips, and up. Whoops, hang on, I haven't got my balance. Up, up. 1, up, up. 2, up, up, up. 3, 4, 5, and I'm straightening. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Give your hips a bit of a wiggle. Whew. Ah. Right. Next is the upward row. This is the one. If you don't have a band, hold your thumb so that you've got that V there. If you have a band, oh yeah, the technique, I'll do it without a band. Remember, is to get keep your elbows higher than your hands. The object of the exercise is not to get your hands to your chin. If that happens, if you can get them to your chin like that, that's great. You've still got that V. But if you can only get them to there, fine. It's the technique I want you to get right. If you have a band, stand on it, and then cross it over like that. So I'm going to come a bit nearer so you can see what my arms are doing. When you're doing this, remember, keep your forearm, your wrist and your hand in one line. Have it sort of lock it. I don't want you doing that. I've seen people struggling like that. Remember, it's your elbows that come up first. We're going to don't rock back either, and keep your shoulders nice and relaxed. So many instructions, so many things to remember. Right, we're going to do 10. So 1, nice and controlled. 2, don't boing it down. 3, 4. If you can't get the technique with a band, do it without the band. 5, because I think you get quite a lot of benefit from this one without the band. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well done. Now, the next one we're going to do is for the abdominals. I changed it last week, and some people liked it and some people didn't. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do it again the same way as I did it last week. And see how you get on, because if something's difficult, maybe it's just because we're not used to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it this way. I'll be turning the chair every which way. You just have the chair whichever way you want. And I'm going to sit on the chair, on the edge of the chair this way, so that I've got the back of the chair either on my right hand or my left hand. Happens to be on my left. Okay? So it's going to look like this. I've got the back, the hands there. I'm sitting near the front. There's quite a lot of back of chair here. Quite a lot. And then what we're going to do is holding on to the back. We're going to lean back. You don't need to do this at the moment. Watch. Lean back until you can feel your stomach muscles taking the strain. And then if you can, lift your knees. If you can only lift them just slightly off the floor, that's fine. You don't need to lift them right up. Just lift them slightly off the floor. Okay? Hold on to the back if you need to. One person said they felt a bit unbalanced. Get a good solid chair, lean back and bring your knees up just slightly. Okay? And we're going to do that. We haven't started yet. We're going to do that for 5, a count of 5. And we're going to try 5 for a count of 5. So I'm going to come here again so as I can see. I'm going to come round to the side. So holding onto the chair if you need to. Sitting towards the edge of the side, if you understand what I mean. Hold on to the chair. Lean back until you can feel the bite of your stomach muscles. You can feel it. And then we're going to lift your legs and we're going to do, you may be able to get them there. If you can only just get them off the floor, that's fine. In fact, just getting them off the floor is a bit more difficult. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put your legs on the floor, but leave your back, leave your torso where it is. And then we're going to bring the legs up again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5, 5. Legs down. And then up again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down. Up again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down, and then last time up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then sit up. And I'd quite like feedback on that. Did you feel less insecure holding on to the back? Could you feel it on your stomach muscles? Could you get your legs off the floor just a tiny bit, even if it's only a couple of millimeters off the floor? You're still using all these abs here. Okay, last week I was doing this, but you don't need to do that. Just if you can feel it on your abs. Okay, so let me know about that. Triceps. The opposite from the bicep, the other side of the arm. Well done, Prue. Right, remember, this is the one where we're doing up to the ceiling. So you have your band over your shoulder. Your hand at the back is holding on to it like that. That's the one that controls the tension. If you can, have your hand, your other arm right back like that. If you've got shoulder mobility problems, bring it to chest height. If it's over the shoulder, actually, I'm going to turn this camera up a little bit. If it's over the shoulder, you're going to just point to the ceiling. Your shoulder doesn't move, it's just your forearm. And if it's here, you're going to point to the floor. That's all we're doing. Okay, so we're going to do 10 of each. So make sure your tension's right. We're going to go 1, 2. I'm going to turn around so you can see what I'm doing. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then swap over. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How was that? Now, because I love and care for all of you and want you to have nice strong thighs and nice strong glutes, gluteus maximus, we're going to do another 10 squats. Me without a head there. There we go. So we're just going to go straight into them, no explanation. So 1. Oh, I'm falling backwards. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I keep looking down, and that's to check that my knees aren't going over my toes. 8, 9, 10. That involved quite a bit of creaking of knees and things there. Right. We're now going to do a side bend. So those of you that know me know that this is my favourite exercise. Not, as the kids say. So, feet slightly wider than hip width apart. Remember, if you're going to put your hand over your head, keep it straight. Make sure it's you're actively using your hand rather than it just flopping up there. So, and it's just to the side, not forward or back. And it's easier if you breathe out while you're bending to the side. So, 1. Oh, I don't know why I find this one so hard. Oh, 2. It gets better as I get into it. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Oh, other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, so glad that's over. Right, we're going to do our little routine. We're going to go through it 3 times fairly slowly, just to sort of remind yourselves. So we're going to do heel dig, side, back, toe tap, heel dig, side, back, toe tap. One last time, heel dig, side, back, toe tap. Ooh, this left arm keeps wanting to come into a bicep curl when I do the toe tap, doesn't it? Itchy nose, sorry. Right, so if you've got music, put it on. As you know, I'm not allowed to play music because of copyright laws. So the music is in my head, which is a pity. And we're going to do it. We're going to start, we'll go a bit more quickly in time to the imaginary beat. So heel dig, side, back, toe tap. 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 One more time. Heel dig, side, back, toe tap. Well done. Right. This is the bit of the class which is voluntary. If you've got any problems with your heart or you feel unsure doing it, don't do it. I mean, it's all voluntary, obviously. Nobody's forcing you to do any of the exercises. But if you want to sit down while we're doing it, best not sit down, maybe just keep moving. But this warms you up beautifully to go into the stretching. It makes sure that the blood is circulating. Although this is quite a warm-up. You can keep doing this if you want. But what we're going to do is 3 bouts of 20 seconds, high-intensity training. 3 bouts of 20 seconds of high-intensity training, which is running as fast as you can on the spot. Shoulders relaxed, don't hunch your shoulders. Arms going, on your toes, nice and quick, not great big steps, just tiny, tiny little steps as fast as you can. Obviously, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to be the timekeeper. So if you want to do it, you can do it sitting in the chair. It's a bit more difficult. It's a bit weird. The movement is this, woo, punching shoulders. But I think it's easier standing up. You can do one, you can do two, you can do all three. It's entirely up to you. I can't see you anyway. So on your marks, even just that small bit makes me puff a bit. On your marks, set, off you go. $18, $19, $20. Stop. Well, I'm sure you didn't need any. I'm sure you don't need any encouragement to stop. 20 seconds seems a very long time when you're exerting yourself, doesn't it? I'll give you a few seconds to recover. Whilst we're recovering, Doreen, I don't know if you're doing this on the laptop, on your computer, or whether you're doing it on the telly, but you obviously can see the comments at the side. I put a link to the Buy Me a Coffee just above where your comment is. So I don't know if afterwards you want to try and click on that, but there is a link on the page in the comments section where you can make comments. Just sort of scroll down a little bit, or go on to go on to the U3A Keep Fit, Doreen. It's on there. Find the purple box where I said about today's class, and then look at the comments, and the link is there. In fact, I'll tag you if you can't manage it. Right. Second session. On your marks, set, off you go. I'd be interested to know what you think about this high intensity. Sorry, I won't talk while you're doing this. $17, $18, $19, $20. Well done. Yeah, like I said, I'd be interested to know what you think about this, ending with this high intensity training. Most people quite like it because they feel as if they've actually been working out a bit. I mean, I don't know, that the whole session is it's not an easy session, this, although it is for older people or people who are very unfit. I'm not implying that older people are unfit. It's not an easy session, but it's because you can do it at your own level that it's suitable for everybody. But I know some of you must. I mean, we've been doing it since April, haven't we? So that's a long time. I don't realise how long lockdown has been. Of course, we're sort of semi-lockdown a bit more in Manchester now. Right. Are we ready for the third one? On your marks. I can see the dog is raring to go. On your marks, set, off we go. Oh, 20, stop. Sorry. I was thinking about something else. I do apologise. Get your breath back. Right, don't run away. We're going to do stretching. Remember those tendons that are saying, stretch me, stretch me. So get your chair. Thanks, Doreen. So get your chair. Remember, front leg bent, back leg straight. Check that your feet are both pointing in the same direction. And just lean forward slightly until you feel a stretch on the back of your calf, at the top of your calf. We're just going to stretch that gently. And remember, this is stretching also the biggest tendon in your body, which, as we now know, is the Achilles tendon. Although we're going to stretch it slightly more in a moment. And then very gently bend your back knee. Your heel comes off the ground. If you put your weight on that leg, not your whole weight, but push it down, you should feel the stretch moving down into your lower calf and your Achilles. And just stretch it very gently. And we'll just hold it there for a few more seconds. And then switch. Straight leg, back leg straight, front leg bent. Check that your feet are both pointing forward. And then gently bend your back knee just a tiny bit. And with your weight on your toes of that foot, you should feel the stretch going down into your Achilles and your lower calf, which is called your soleus. I just throw in these technical terms just so you are confident that I know what I'm talking about. And then stop. Next thing we're going to do is the big thigh muscles. If you can, grab your foot, your trouser leg, your sock, whatever you can to grab it, standing up nice and straight, knees together for maximum effect. If you can't get your knees together, that's fine. Remember, stretching should be challenging, but not painful. If you can't do that, absolutely fine. Do dynamic stretching, just kicking your legs like this. If you can, you put your hands behind your back. Try and kick your hands. Touch your hands with your heels. I'm going to do static stretching. So I'm going to hold this for a few more seconds. And then swap over. If you're doing the dynamic stretching, just keep doing it. If you're doing the static, swap legs. I'm holding on because it's not a balancing exercise. You can practice balance by letting go if you want. Any opportunity to practice balance is good, but don't let it compromise the stretch. Okay, right, we're going to do the hamstrings next, which are the big muscles at the back of the leg. So you're sitting on the chair, but right at the edge. Knees at 90 degrees, ankles under your knees. One leg stretching out in front, toe pulled back, dorsiflexion. Sitting up nice and straight, lean forward from the hips, not from the waist. So you're not leaning forward like this. Your back isn't rounded. Your back should stay straight as you go down. Now remember, this is your stretch, so you do it at your capability. Some people will be more bendy than others, but that's absolutely fine. Everybody has different levels of bendiness. And then sitting up and swapping legs. Sitting up nice and straight again, forward from the waist, from the hips, not from the waist. And there we go. So, standing up, arms out, palms facing forward at shoulder height. Round the tree, remember it's like that, not like that. Round the tree at shoulder height, and then dip your head. Excuse me. Try and keep your elbows right out to the side. And then if you can, link your hands behind your back. If not, just try and get your elbows together. Obviously you can't, but just pull your elbows back. If you're linking your hands, just your fingers, just pull your arms back like that, just to get the stretch across here. If you're doing your elbows, just keep them static there. Okay, then one hand back, down your shoulder, down your back, like that. If you're probably best just to leave this stretch out, or if it's painful, leave it out. And then you're just going to push your arm back slightly so that you get a stretch down here. I'll show you, that's what it looks like. And then release that. And repeat on the other side. Okay. And sitting down. Don't use the chair to support you. Use your own muscles. And dip your head. And then put your hand on your crown, but don't push. Just let the weight of your hand push your head down. When you're doing neck exercises, you need to be very careful. And then release. I don't know whether it's me or whether it's old age, but I find that my neck is a bit more delicate than it used to be. It gets sore. I seem to get a stiff neck or a sore neck quite easily. So you've got to be very careful with your neck. You've got to be very careful with my neck anyway. Then we're going to turn our head to the left. Note where your chin is in relation to your shoulder. Then you're going to put one hand on if you're turning your head to the left, you're going to put your right hand on your right cheek or your right chin. And then you're going to try and turn your head back to the center, but you're going to resist with this hand. So what you're doing is you're creating tension in your neck. And then you're going to relax totally, and you should be able to turn your head just a little bit further to the left. Notice where your chin is now in relation to your neck. You're just going to hold it there for a couple of seconds. Nice relaxed shoulders, they don't move. And then bring your head back to the center. And then the same thing again. Remember, your shoulders don't move, it's just your head. And put your left hand on your left chin, as it were. Try and turn your head back to the center. Resist with your hand. Get that tension in your neck. And then relax totally and see if you can turn your head just a little bit more to the right. And then bring your head back to the center. And that's it. Thank you very much for attending the first Wednesday 9 o'clock class. See, it's, what time is it? It's not even 10 o'clock, and the rest of the day is your own because you've been exercising like good uns. Like I say, if you want to buy me a coffee, I'll be very grateful. You don't need to go mad. Just one coffee is enough. And I will see you next Wednesday. Bye.